It was at this moment that he knew.
He bucked up. Welcome. You're listening to Bucked Up with Sam Buck.
Fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you have fucked up.
I really appreciate you coming on. I've been listening to regressions all week.
Word. What you think of it?
I fucking love it. I love it. I got to hear a little bit because I'm originally from Cape Cod, so I actually went up to visit Mefucks up in
Okay.
P-Town, and I got to hear some of that shit.
Oh, so you got the live and in color.
Yeah. I heard you were up there making so much music. You're prolific up there.
Oh man, thank you, brother. Thank you very much, man. That's humbling. Yeah, I went in there and tried to put some really good work in.
Was that weird going? I mean, you guys like took over a hotel up there and fucking turned out some killer music.
That's a fact. Yeah, it was different. You know what I'm saying? My first time really just focusing 100% on the creative process. So, like, that was cool.
Yeah. How long were you there for?
About a week and a half.
Oh, so did you make that whole project in a week and a half?
Yeah, I did 2 projects in that week and a half.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Because I was here. Mefex was just making beats all day. And I heard you went up there with Bangs and some other. Did anyone else go up with y'all?
I went, the first time I went by myself. My brother, Akil Ali, came with me, one of my artists, and my brother. And then I went a second time, but I didn't work on regressions that time. I worked on the compilation album. And that time, my brother, TF from the West Coast came out with me.
Shout out TF, great rapper. I was able to one of my favorite songs off of the Lord Mob tape was actually the skit where you guys, the Mefucks, be with you and TF after the freestyle, which was fantastic. You guys are such a good combo.
Yeah, we got a project coming this year. We finished the project outside of the work that we did, over the last couple of trips. So yeah, we have some collaborative efforts coming this year. That's pretty dope.
How'd you meet Mefucks?
Through Flea. Flea, he started the Lord Mob label with Mefucks, and he introduced me to Mefucks. Mefucks came to me and kind of, was wanted to do a project with me. So we came up with Progression, and that's how that came about. It actually started off as a single. Me and him, he just wanted a record at first, and the record was so fire that we ended up just doing a project. So we did Progression, and then we followed it up with Regressions. You know what I mean?
You guys are a great was that your first? You do have a good amount over, through 2019 through now, you've put out a good amount of projects. Was that your first time? Like, do you do that, turn them over quickly, like record in a week with the producer, or was that your first time doing that?
Nah, that's not my first time doing that. I don't want to sound like I'm tooting my own horn or nothing like that, but nah, it's not my first time doing that. And I've done it a lot faster than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not really about the speed for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is. From the outside looking in, I guess that's, a cool factor, you know what I'm saying? But from a creative side, it's just more about it being organic. So as long as I'm feeling it and, I'm in the zone, that I'm going to keep going. You know what I mean? Like I've done like 3 projects in like one session. You know what I'm saying?
That's insane. Now, do you have do you sit down and write, or is this just going through your mind at all times?
I write. I write as I'm creating, you know what I'm saying? So I don't pre-write anything, but like as the beat comes on, I write. So like I write on the spot, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you have a very unique style. I mean, all of Lord Mob does, but you yourself have a very unique style. I was going back listening to all your old projects, and I listened to Welcome to Ground Zero, which was a very different sound than The Survivors, which was like your first project kind of based in the style I guess you are now.
Right. Welcome to Ground Zero was like kind of still when I was finding myself as an artist. The Survivors was executive produced by Flea Lord. So that's like the first, the time that people get to hear me with the Flea Lord influence. You know what I'm saying? He actually came into the studio, listened to like 150 songs that I did and picked like his 10 favorites. And like, that's how you got the Survivors. So from that point, it was just my job on recreating that, vibe after that one.
How'd you meet Flea?
Professional time. We was in the studio together. You know what I'm saying? We just was in the same studio, coming back and forth. Over some good weed and excellent conversation. You know what I mean? Like we just started to build, and I personally wanted him to go through my music because I knew he was, a level up as far as where I wanted to be as far as my career. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I wanted him to go through some of my stuff and like really just, show me maybe I got the sound, maybe I don't, maybe I'm lacking some places, you know what I mean? And when I wanted to meet with him about it, he actually came to me and offered to do the exact same thing that I wanted to do anyway. So it was just like kind of like a dope ass coincidence, you know what I'm saying? So salute to Flea for like that's to that time into me.
That's crazy. So you had 150 songs, you said. Now, were all of them the kind of style of that, or were a lot of them more the Welcome to Ground Zero type beats?
They were all over the place. Like, so before I put out Survivors, that was actually gonna be my 10th release. I was gonna put a project out called LL Cool J. It was like a more project aimed towards the female market, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still plan to do something like that, but I'm going with like a different umbrella, like, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's something I still plan to do because I like to speak to the female audience, you know what I'm saying? But I was gonna put out this LL Cool J project, and I was like, man, before I just do this shit and like, put it in the air and just hope it sticks, let me speak to somebody who's, actually doing this a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? And getting a little guidance, you know what I'm saying? So, Flea was humble enough to really show me that love and that dedication. It's just like, this is what I think of work to help me curate the artwork. Then got me the vinyl deal, then got me the cassette deal, and got my merchandise going. So it was just like, he helped set up the business side of things behind me more than just the creative side. And that's what I was like really missing. So even though we started off, small steps, and I still feel like every day is a small step. It's definitely progressed from where we started, last year.
So you said before that you had 10 projects out. When was your first project?
Oh God, I think it was called Introducing the Boss was probably my first hard copy project in Niagara Falls. And that was just like all hard copies, like CDs that we were moving out the trunk type stuff. You know what I mean? It was like a 5-track EP, you know what I'm saying? And then
how old were you at that point?
I was about 18, maybe 19, something like that. Yeah, I was young. That's when I was like, I don't know, like I feel like, back then my style was more like trying to be the best rapper alive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was more like that kind of grind. Like I want to just be like incredible with bars. Like I want to be if I'm on track, I want to be the best rapper ever. Like, and now it's like my goal is to more like leave legacy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not really about, I don't really care where you wake me up, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? As long as like you're listening and you're enjoying the journey with me. You know what I'm saying? Like the ranking shit is cool. That's for the fans, but like that's not like, I don't base the shit that I write off of where you're gonna rank me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When did that come into play? Because I feel like more recently, if that's the mentality, it's been working,
Yeah, but that's how I used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was like a lot younger, I used to go by like Jag the Beast, like I before the G4 Jag thing and everything, and I used to be really like aggressive with the approach. Well, some people say I still am, but like, you know what I'm saying? I used to be like real extra, like, you know what I mean, with the approach. And like just nowadays, I just want to make dope music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like now, it's just, I kind of just let the beat resonate with me, and I create on the spot based off the inspiration the beat is. And before it was a lot of imaginary bars, I would say, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to be as clever as possible. You know what I'm saying? Whereas now, every last first song, anything I release is going to be a reflection of my real life. You know what I'm saying? There's no fabrication. There's no, there's clever and there's wit in the delivery and the delivery of the story. But, at the end of the day, it's all, reflections, you know what I'm saying? So, um, coming soon, let me just put like that in reflections coming soon, you know what I'm saying? But it's all just, reflections, you know what I mean? So really just
Yeah.
looking back on shit you've been through and speaking on it.
Well, what made that change of you writing about writing about what you're actually living?
I guess, taking music seriously, like going from just being like a rapper who wanted to, I was just more like a mixtape rapper who wanted to battle and, do that kind of stuff. Whereas like, you know, realizing that I'm creating art that's gonna outlive me now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the goal was to like leave something that maybe my grandkids can like look up and listen to and, understand who I was, in that era, what I was going through, just so they can have some type of lifeline, like, you know what I mean? So like nowadays, like I said, my music is more based off legacy and wanting you to just, understand who I am, you know what I mean? Like it's just raw, unfiltered me. Whereas before, like I was trying to be more, I guess, artistic, chasing hit records, trying to write hit records, you know what I mean? Trying to write what I think the radio will want to play, you know what I'm saying? And I just kind of just gave up on that shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Working with Flea and creating that survivor sound and realizing that, like, man, I'm just gonna just give the people me at this point because it seems like, that's just really what they're attaching themselves to, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, well, it's like when you chase something so hard, it won't happen until you kind of just like let
fuck
it
it.
happen.
Right.
Yeah. So when Flea, was he the one who taught you how to take it seriously, like take the music business seriously? And
I believe I was serious before that, but he's the one who showed me the paradigm that like how to do it successfully. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
yeah,
like, yeah, I might have been serious about it, but was it working? You know what I mean? Like, and
Mhm.
that's where Fleek comes into place. It's like I'm gonna show you what's working for me, and if you follow, my directives and the shit that I'm gonna teach you and show you, this is what works. As long as you follow the same paradigm, you should have the same success. You know what I mean? If not, if you're shooting for the moon, you'll land amongst the stars. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you
Yeah,
might not, I'll never try to be Flea Lord, because he's his own, his own image and he's blazed a path for himself. But as I'm blazing this path for G4 Jag, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm definitely gonna follow his best practices, make sure if he's gonna save me from bumping my head into a wall, that's what the bro is there for, to make sure I'm guided down the right path. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
he's
Having a team is
that
so
as he gets
important.
into my career.
Yeah, having a team is so important. And the thing I love about Lord Mob is you guys are all unique. Like you guys all do have different paths, whether it's you, TF Zaza God, whether it's Bangs, whether it's Flea, even on the production side, you got all the different sounds with Me Fucks, Ghost Dave. Like you guys are all have your own lanes, but then you come together. Like the compilation tape, that shit was amazing. That was a great tape.
Thank you. Yeah, one of my favorite projects I ever got to be involved with, man, because it was organic. You know what I mean? Everybody just doing their own thing, but coming together to paint the picture. You know what I'm saying? And that shit was beautiful for us, for hip hop. You know what I mean? For everybody, that was a big deal for us.
When did Lord Mob start, or when did you join up, and how did the first project come about?
Well, Lord Mob as an entity, I guess, our first major kind of interaction would have been the session that we had to create the compilation where we put the video footage out and we all came together, we celebrated, signing under the Lord Mob umbrella. And then the first project would have been, I guess, the compilation project, you know what I mean? Where you hear us all as a collective, you know what I mean? And everybody that's associated with it, who's putting the work in, who had their hands on the project and making sure that it was successful. So, you're really getting to see the beginning stages of this right now. You know what I'm saying? Like Flea trusted, for me to be one of the first artists that's releasing under the label, you know what I'm saying? So, it's a lot riding on me, and I'm confident that I'm going, I want to pull through for the guys, you know what I mean? And for myself too, you know what I'm saying? So that's what you get with regressions. You know what I mean? Like I really feel like
Yeah.
I wanted to turn around and give the world a project that was like undeniable on any level. It doesn't matter if you're underground hip hop, left mainstream, right wing, left wing, doesn't matter where you come from, walk of life. It's just gonna relate to you if you live life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you have so many different, it shows off the versatility of your styles while staying together as a project. That's what I really liked about, that's what I love about Me Fox's production. Shout out past guests, but he can have so many different styles and it works. And that's what really, like, One Time is one of the favorite tracks off that. But then I also love the song with Flea, which is like a perfect song for the spring and summertime and shit.
Right.
Like, but it all works together.
Right, right. I love that song too. It's one of my favorite songs of the project. But yeah, we really try to give them just like a very good range of powerful music that resonates with you. You know, if you're living any type of lifestyle that's relatable to mine. You know what I'm saying? So that way, you know, you get a piece of me, but you find a piece of me inside yourself. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's you know, it's easier to take home when it's something that you know that relates to you.
Well, you had connections with like Shady Ray. You guys had a project out before Lord Mob, and did you have connections with anyone else before you guys signed?
Well, yeah. I mean, I had connections with I have connections with a whole lot of people because I lived in so many different cities and I moved around a lot. You know, in hip hop before.
Where'd you live?
I lived in like Buffalo. I lived in Niagara Falls. I lived in Rochester. I've lived in Harlem, clearly, you know, New York. I've lived in Philly. I was down south for some time. So, like, you know, I moved around a lot. Like, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
it was, you know, I was like a local artist in a lot of different markets. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I have connections all over, you know, the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not.
Yeah.
But that's just organic. That has nothing to do with like, you know what I mean? That's the great thing about Lord Mob. It's like everybody that's at the table has their own connection and value that they bring because they had everyone that's been working. Like no one here is like, I'm brand new to this and I'm trying to figure it out, you know, from beginning. You know what I mean? Every last person who's at the table is almost like is a seasoned, you know, artist. You know what I'm saying? So they're not only are they ready to shoot, they're well versed in bumping their heads and standing back up and the trials and tribulations that come with, you know, this industry. So you know, it's just like a good situation for all of us because we all could, you know, support each other in our times of weaknesses. We've all been through things that, you know, other artists, you know, might not have gone through just yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's a real good position. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like there's a respect in the game, or there's a new wave in the game of people who have been in it for a while and showing that like time under your belt is important and that's what needs to be respected. You know,
Right.
it's
Authenticity. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
That was a long time. You know, history always repeats itself, and you know, we're just watching the cycle. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, out with the old, in with the new. That the people are always going to get tired of one thing, and you know, need a refresher and need a rejuvenation because you know, life is all about balance. You know what I'm saying? That's what I talk about a lot of my music is finding that balance. You know what I'm saying? So, even you know, versus progression versus regressions, like you know what I mean? Like it's all about balance. You know, step forwards and steps back, but you just to remain on the even kill. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what this shit is all about. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
What made you call the project Regressions?
Literally what I was going through in life. I had just been signed and I just put out the album Progression. That was my goals because I wanted to progress in my career and in life. And I was able to speak into fruition. And at the time in life, it was, you know, I was doing certain things and, you know, to remain on the even kill, you know, by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, with if you listen to the album, it's very clear, you know, why the name is Regressions. I know you just, you know, you're asking the questions for the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I get it. For the masses, like I said, with me, you really got to just dive into the music, like, because I try to be as transparent in the music as possible. So, if you're any answers to why the project is titled that, you'll listen to the album and be very transparent. As an artist, like I said, from a creative standpoint, it's the things that I had to do to remain on the even kill. You know what I'm saying? Like, they keep making sure life keeps going, life keeps stepping forward, but you can't fall forward, you can't fall backwards. So sometimes you got to step backwards to prevent this fall back. You got to step forward to, prevent the fall forward. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Is that hard when you're starting to make a name for yourself and you're starting to really like, you're trying to leave a legacy and you're trying to, make this, a legacy, make this history. And is that hard to then take a step back and kind of?
It can be heartbreaking, but and like, that's a great question. You know what I'm saying? Like, it definitely can be heartbreaking. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it sets the stage for beautiful music. Because at the same time, I am creating during the entire time. I'm not going to let my regression stop the creative process. You know what I'm saying? So, even though, like I said, it's not the moments in life that I may be proudest of. It's the things that I had to do to make sure shit kept going in the right direction.
Yeah, and people will understand that. We all get in certain situations that the way that I started this podcast, it's just you kind of have to do things and move forward, and hopefully people will learn from them. That's the whole point of this, is like learning from your mistakes and learning from the shit that you do, not even mistakes, but the shit that you have to do to get to the point where you are.
Exactly. It's almost, the regressions is almost the value of the mistakes. You know what I'm saying? It's like you had to do those things to be who you are today. You know what I'm saying? And without those things, you would not be who you are today. You have to acknowledge that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That the pain is a part of the creative process. It is a part of the molding process because it creates resilience, it creates character.
Is it hard putting, like, what held me back from, one, I'm a stand-up, but two, doing this podcast and putting my life out there is like the worry of judgment, not the worry of judgment, but you said the worry of judgment. Like, you think your grandkids are listening to this, or other people in your past who know you, or people around. Was that what made you take some time to put your shit out? Because the first one on major streaming was 2017. That was your first album,
right? On major streaming platforms.
on
I
major
existed
streaming
before the
platforms.
internet.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
totally.
yeah, so I'm not like an internet bred rapper, so that's not really an accurate depiction of like my work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the depiction once the internet was a major factor in the music industry, and I was kind of late to the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you, as far as that internet influence, because I'm a New Yorker, we were well bred in physical hand to hand, kind of interactions, and there's millions of people there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can be successful. We had images of labels that we could walk up to. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a dream for us. It was something that was a fruition. We could stand in front of Def Jam and sell our mixtapes. Or, you know what I'm saying? You can run down on these people that you don't feel like you create these opportunities. So in your mind, you always have a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like you're the person and you're capable, then you feel like you always have a way, because being in New York City, you always have access. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it might not be direct access. It's not like, yo, these are my guys, they gonna give me a shot, but it's like, man, I could at least pull up to the fucking building. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is some shit a motherfucking in South Dakota can't do right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, pure maps and geography. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, that because you're from New York, and I had that influence of, seeing the diplomats and seeing, Rough Riders and their hand-to-hand interactions with the people, and how they created these movements way before the internet, like, you know what I'm saying, was a thing.
Totally,
Right. So like, my influences weren't from the internet age, like, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really care. I didn't value it I'm not gonna say like, you know what I mean. I wasn't knowledgeable enough on it to know how much I should be putting on the internet and how much like I purposely refused to put on the internet because I wasn't educated on copyrights and piracy and things like that, and I just wanted to protect my art, like you know what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, like I want to make sure I'm funneling all my fans directly back to me, and if I can control the internet, you know what I'm saying, like at least in that era, in that time, that mind frame, you know what I'm saying. I wasn't, you know, knowledgeable enough on the things that I needed, you know. So once I, you know, learned how the internet works, you know, and how to attack it, and you know, I had less life in the way, I was able to execute more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you feel like the authenticity is gone now that, like, do you think that back then, like you said, the hand to hand, that was more authentic, or
Gone from where?
what was that? Sorry.
You said authenticity is gone. I said gone from where?
From the internet, like, because it's really easy
No, the
to
internet
just,
was never authentic. The internet is a fiction. It's not a real place. Like, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like, that
yeah.
conversation alone is hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Like, the internet is not
Mhm.
real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a
Right. But do you think
platform.
that then hurts the music, you know?
Um, it it changed. You know, hurt is a perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, it depends on, you know,
Mhm.
what side of the fence you were on. You know what I mean? Like, did it hurt you or not? If you were an independent artist like Soldier Boy, you know, the internet was the greatest thing that ever happened to you. If you were a big industry rapper like, you know, some of the, you know, old, I don't want to, you know, slander anybody, but, you know, just for example, I don't know, but, you know, say like Nelly or something like that, or, you know, one of these big time rappers who was living off of the industry push, then the internet might have been a disservice to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might have
Yeah.
hurt your path. You know what I mean? It depends on what side of the fence you was on. Me personally, I don't feel like it was a negative impact on, like, it helped independent artists have a bigger platform. It also gave the entire world a voice. You know what I'm saying? So people have voices in hip hop who might not deserve it according to the, you know, the old school standard of hip hop and creation. You know what I'm saying? But you know, me personally, I don't judge at all. The way I look at it is like this. I just look in the mirror and try to, you know, be a contributor the best way that I can. You know what I'm saying? Because,
Yeah.
you know, that's cliche and shit that might sound, but that's the shit that really keeps you going every day. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking at it like, oh, these fake motherfuckers is winning, or why the real niggas not getting a shot, or you'll never get a shot. You'll be too focused on everybody fucking else. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you really gotta like laser focus on the shit you want to create and what your goals are. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think it was hurt the authenticity. The only thing that could hurt the authenticity is the person in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
if it's hurt, it's because you hurt it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you brought some shit in that you weren't supposed to, and you did that shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's up to the contributor. You know what I mean? Like, me as a fan of it, I'm a little weird. You know what I'm saying? I'm a creator, so like I'm not really looking from the same perspective as all fans and all of that. I do a lot of weird shit. I don't listen to I don't listen to a lot of rap. I listen to a lot of R&B and, you know, old school shit. I'm listening for samples. I'm listening for sounds. I listen for other type of music. When I was younger, you know, I was listening to hip hop super heavily. You know what I'm saying? But like now, as a writer, I kind of don't want to be influenced by anybody. So I make it my hardest to try to, you know, stay pure and like just reflect, you know what I mean? So I have my own cadences, I have my own rhyme patterns. I'm not listening to your album and then going to write a song, and you know what I'm saying? And that's no
Yeah.
offense to no artist. So like I don't want to support, or I don't think your shit is dope, or I don't think, you know, you bring your dope skill level to the table. I just look at the brain like a fucking puddle of water. And if you put like one finger in that shit, it's different. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I try to keep my shit just as pure as possible. So when I go to speak, it's not an influence from somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care what the judgmental is because I didn't hear it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. When did that mentality come about of you're just going to focus on yourself, listen to old school, listen to R&B?
really when I got into like hardcore, just I'm gonna say maybe the last 5-6 years, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe a little longer, but when I really like pre-welcome to Ground Zero, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I was like really just, I'm tired of being influenced, you know what I'm saying, by everything around me. So I just want to kind of laser focus. And, you know, I noticed that, you know, everybody's making trap songs, so I want to try to make a trap song. So you want to sound like the radio, or everybody's making this, so you're going to try and make this, so you can sound like this. And it's like, it was like a couple of years ago, I just kind of deaded all of that. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, yo, as a writer, I know that I'm a sponge. I like to take in knowledge and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So because the way my information reception is, like, I gotta fucking control what I'm taking in. You know what I'm saying? And as crazy as that might sound, it gave birth to G4. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was able to birth my own sound and my own style. Now I have Flea's influence, but now I'm bringing in the influences that I want. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if I'm influenced, it's by choice. It's no longer because, like, you know, there's a bunch of shit that I'm just polluting my mind. Not polluting, but influencing my mind with every day. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's why I ask, is because, like, with the Survivors on, like, you pick such unique beats and you have such a good ear for beats. And that's why I wonder, is that, like, the influence, because you do have an ear for beats that are not the norm, but then you know how to flow perfectly on them.
Right. It's like I said, and I think, you know, credit that to not, you know what I'm saying, chasing anything that's an influence, and just literally trying to just be dope and just listening to good music and trying to fucking reflect. And, you know, what do I think the fans will appeal to in my family, the people that's listening and supporting the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's instead of paying attention, this person is winning, so that's the style it gotta sound like. You know what I'm saying? Like nah, I just want to really just focus on the people who are already supporting me. You know, the people who I'm allowing to influence me, because I'm asking for that influence. You know what I'm saying? My brothers, the mob, the people around me, the producer. That, you know, if I value your production and, you know, what you bring to the table, then that's another influence. You know what I'm saying? But these are influence that I'm filtering it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not nothing's forced. Everything's organic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that comes to, I love your project with Moose. Shout out to Mussolini. You guys,
salute to Moose. It's my bro right there.
You guys work perfectly. How did you guys meet? How did that album come together?
Me and Mussolini met at the Trust event, especially a Trust brunch where he invited all of us out. You know, we shot a video, we dressed in all white, ate some delicious food, a very nice restaurant. Salute to Special for bringing us all out. But that was the first time I met Moose, and the vibe was just organic, man. I think he, you know, you're just a fly ass motherfucker. I'm from Harlem, I value that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, it was just, you know, me, him, and Planet Asia was just really vibing, you know, during the photo shooting, you know, getting to know each other. It was good energy. So I was looking for some place new to create at, and Moose extended his arm to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was just like, "Yo, you know, come fuck with me, Jag. I got a spot, you know, in Yonkers. We gonna fucking record. We're gonna knock a project out. We're gonna get a bag. Da 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 da." He wanted to set it up. So, I let him kind of be in control of, you know, the marketing side of the project, and I just came and created, like, you know what I'm saying? And he opened his door for me, and, you know, allowed me to come create on his terms. So, like, that was like, you know, that was fucking dope as fuck, because besides Flea, you know, I really hadn't built with anybody that much, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, except for, you know, my boy Matt Hatton, salute to Matt Hatton Mayor. But Matt Hatton was kind of pulling up to my, you know, I was recording that to do that project, you know what I'm saying? So this was the first time someone was like, "Yo, Jag, you come over here and come fuck with me," like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, yeah, that was cool as fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? So I moved from Moose has always valued to me. He's a fucking great dude, good art, amazing artist, but, you know, even better person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's really cool to hear you talk about how you make music, because it does seem like the team behind you say the business, but, like, you are a sponge. Like, you just go and you feel it out and you know what to do. It's this, you describing that's the same way you described going up to P-Town and recording up there. It's And I feel like that's different than a lot of artists.
Yeah, I think that's because of like my living situations. You know what I'm saying? I had to move around so much is that, I have to create on the spot. Everything has to be now. You know what I'm saying? So, in this industry, that's a very good trait to have. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes you ready in all situations. So if somebody want to get some shit done, boom, I'm here. It's going to be done. I could work as long as you could work. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if you got 24 hours in you, I got 24 hours for you. You know what I'm saying? Like you got 48 for me, I got 48 for you. I'm not gonna let you outwork me in no studio. Like you know what I'm saying? So as long as you can match my energy, we gonna keep creating till the wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
It's more about just finding, people who match that drive and match that energy. So it was a lot of, what you see over the years is just me linking up with people who was able to match that energy. And it was like, all right, you somebody who play a little different, you understand. I apply a little bit, I apply pressure, So if you're
Yeah.
okay with that, then we gonna work good together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, because like talent is the ticket to play, but it's also the amount of hard work and the amount of drive you have. Like,
right.
can you outwork everyone else? That'll put you in front of everyone else. And that's, I think a lot of people think that it's just, oh, I have a talent in something, so I'm going to be successful in it. But that's not what it
I
is.
want to actually give credit to Fleet, you know what I'm saying? Because he was like the king of outworking everybody. You know what I mean? He has the same.
Shout out, Play 12 projects in a year.
So, my drive you seeing is, the trickle down effect. You know what I'm saying? Like I see the big bro out here killing shit, fucking blazing a path, kicking ass, taking names in a humble fashion, showing love at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I got to do my pull-ups. You know what I mean? Like I got a big fucking path to walk in. So, I know that when I come to the table, when they speak of Jag, they're gonna say that man came to work. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing more, nothing less. Like,
well, you do. You're prolific with your work. The way that I was described you working up in P-Town, just keep putting in the music that you were able to put out in that time. You have the talent, but you also just outwork everyone. Speaking of following trends, or creating trends, is all your albums, I mean, back to the Survivors have that medicine mask on it. Like that's not a new thing. What the medicine man mask? How'd you come up with that?
So salute to D Rats out in Italy. He's the one who curated the first piece of art for the Survivors with the iridescent background. And me and Flea did the background on the mask. And I kind of, it's crazy. I kind of already spoke to you about how my perspective is on like I don't really listen to anything. You know what I'm saying? So the mask was kind of like it was a good symbolism for me because people use it to protect themselves, from the plague, back in the day. So, that's, how I used the mask. I was like my protection from the influences in hip hop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so every time you see that mask, you're getting just G4s, no, nothing else included. It's just G4. You know what I'm saying? That's why if you see the projects with me fucks, I went without the mask. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's me and me fucks. This is not just G4. This is me and me fucks coming together, giving you, a beautiful piece of work. You know what I'm saying? So, I decided to, not to go with the max theme on those because it's not really just my influence, me saying, hey, this is what's going to happen. This is me fucks really painting these canvases and saying, hey, Jag, I like to see you on this. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different approach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's funny that it's not even correlated to what we're going through, but it works perfectly with it,
And that's the authenticity in the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if I'm literally talking about what I'm going through, then guess what? It's going to be what the fuck we're going through. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like that. That's just, credit to, just being transparent. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I happened to drop a project called Still Surviving with a mask on the cover in January 2020 before a pandemic, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then literally everyone's wearing masks and worried about surviving. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little spooky, but it's like, art imitates life and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So, you just keep creating, and hopefully, the regressions, next we're gonna keep creating life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what do you have coming next?
And right now I have like 12 recorded albums that are unreleased. So it's like I like
12?
yeah, like that I've recorded since like last June. So it's like next from me, it might be me and TF did a whole project over the last couple of weeks. We got like 15 records. So that might be the next project you get, with some Jag influences. Me and TF collaborative effort. Also have a project fully produced by Little Etho.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's you're gonna get this year. I think I'll say this on your show. This will be the first time I say this, but I also have a project fully produced by Buck Wild that's done, and I haven't announced that anywhere yet. So like that's the first time.
Shout out Buck Wild, amazing producer.
Yeah, so that's coming to the world this year. You know what I'm saying? So I got some some pretty amazing shit in the cut. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like chilling. I'm letting regressions cook. I'm gonna follow the paradigm of the label and support my brothers and all their endeavors, and just wait my turn, and when it's my shot, just make sure I don't miss and carry my own weight.
Yeah. Well, what makes you then release Regression that you recorded 2-3 months ago when you're sitting on all this music?
Because it was the most transparent and accurate depiction of my life at the time. You know what I'm saying? So, even though, I do have all this music that was together, Regressions was just perfect for the time. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't really let, the body of work to determine what's going to come out. I let like what's supposed to come out. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
if it feels right, then that's what's going to happen. And Regressions, I had just dropped Regression. It just made sense right now. You know what I'm saying? Like to follow up that body of work, and the body of work was beautiful. So I thought that was the light I wanted to start the year, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, are you recording still? Like, it's crazy to sit on 12. Like, an artist could have 12 projects over 3 or 4 years, and you're sitting on 12. You just released one, and you're probably recording more.
Every day.
Is that hard? Is that hard to be like, shit, what am I going to do with all this? Or do you like being like, I can wait?
Yeah, it's cool. It's great because the goal is to build your catalog. You know what I'm saying? And right now I'm building my catalog in a very, very strong fashion. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna continue to do so because as I continue to build my catalog, there might be more opportunities for me to release music. It might not be, you know what I'm saying? But maybe God forbid something happened to me or something. But it's always gonna be Jag music. There's going to be a lot of Jag music coming no matter what, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's a lot of music in the universe, and I'm just going to keep creating, like no matter what, I'm going to keep creating.
Do you ever go back and listen to some of your first albums? Like, do you ever go back to the past and see where you came from, or think, shit, I can't believe I put this out?
Like once every couple months, I might just like go and reflect on some of the older bodies of work. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I'm listening to unreleased music because I'm trying to figure out like what's the next vibe, or you know what I mean? What do I need to create, or this vibe was dope. I need this. You know what I'm saying? What do I need to mix?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So I'm like dotting the I's and crossing the T's on because there's so much music. So it's like you gotta, I'm organizing my own music for the most part throughout the day. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have any old projects out that like you could find that you recommend? I want to go back and listen to like your old shit.
If you go to thatpiff.com, have you ever heard the 9/11 Survivor Project?
No.
So that was before Welcome to Ground Zero. So
okay.
Yeah, if you go to thatpiff.com, and you look up G4 Space Jag, you'll find the 9/11 Survivor Project. That project is pretty dope. It's me on the like that's like the only project in the world where I'm rapping over industry beats.
I'll have to check that out. How'd you get the name G4 Jag? Where'd that come from?
Jag is actually just my initials, and G4 is that I got that in Niagara Falls. I used to just get dressed every day and shit. I'm not like I don't wear like flip flops and ball shorts and shit like that. Like I'm from Harlem, so I like, you know, the bitches. I mean, the young ladies just calling me, you know, G4. You know what I'm saying? Like I probably fly, like you know what I mean? Like so, just stuff.
Yeah,
So
and
that was.
and the last is you said you don't really listen to other stuff. So when collabs come along, is it natural? Like you said, you run into Moose at the 38 Special lunch, or how do you find, like, do you find artists to collab with, or is that more like?
Most of the artists I collab with, I met in real life, unless it's someone like, you know, I reached out to Ransom for a verse because, you know, he's someone I always kind of wanted to work with, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that I, you know, we was able to get that done. Like, you know, but besides like situations like that, it's artists that I met. Like I did an album in Niagara Falls, that's untitled right now, but produced by Imperative, Ben Jesus, and Tony Trouble from Honorable Court. But what I did was I just invited like all the artists that I had connections with in the Buffalo and Niagara Falls area to the studio for like a 10-hour session. And you know, I just did, you know, records the entire night, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? But that's like, you know, if I'm gonna do a feature, I like to get next to the artists and like build in person. Like me and TF, we did our project in Cape Cod, in Rochester, in Buffalo, whatever city we were in together.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the studio and recorded. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Are you gonna be touring? I miss shows so much. I miss like live shows.
God willing, as soon as the shows open back up, we'll be on the road. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I can't wait.
What was the last show you did before all this?
Damn. The last show before COVID that I did was probably the Griselda tour in Connecticut with Flea. We did one shot and I backed him up for the rest of his set. You know what I'm saying? But that was like my last time on stage before the pandemic.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was supposed to come to that Connecticut show, but I got sick.
Man.
I missed all 3 of the dates, but man, thank you so much for coming on. I'm a really big fan of your music, and I love Regressions. Everyone listen to it. And I'm looking forward to hear what else you have coming out. Do you want to plug any of your social media and shit?
Oh man, sure, yeah, man. If you're looking for me, please look me up G4 space JAG on all platforms, all music streaming platforms, all video platforms. Just look G4 space JAG, and please enjoy yourself. Anywhere you listen to music at, anywhere you follow social media, except TikTok. I don't do TikTok, but anywhere else, you know what I'm saying? Like you'll find me there.
Awesome. Really, everyone check out his music and subscribe to Bucked Up on YouTube, and we'll see you next time.